Chapter 1 of the War Chief of the Six Nations. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The War Chief of the Six Nations by Aubrey Wood. Chapter 1. The Young Mohawk. A group of huntsmen were camping on the Ohio River. The foliage swayed in the night wind, and the argent light of the moon ran in fleeting bars through the dim recesses of the forest. From the ground arose a ruddier glare. High and dry, fires had been built, and the flames were darting and curveting among the trees. In the weird light the hunters were clustered about in squads, silently stripping their prey or preparing their weapons for the morrow's chase. In the background were the women, moving here and there in the dancing shadows. One was bending low over a newborn infant, and as she uttered his name in the stillness of the evening, it blended with the music of the treetops. Thayendanegea. The name was taken from the great book of nature. It was a birth name of the Mohawks, meaning 2 sticks of wood bound together, a sign of strength, and the woman hoped that her tiny child might one day be a man of valour among the Mohawks. Could she have but known it, her desire was to be more than realized, for in vigour of mind and body he was destined to surpass all the offspring of his race. So it was in the year 1742, in the reign of King George II, that Thayendanegea was born among the Mohawks on the banks of the Ohio. To the untaught savage this sluggish stream was a thing of life, and he called it the River Beautiful. The Ohio Valley was at this time the favourite hunting ground of the Indian peoples. Because this valley was rich in game and comfortable to dwell in, it had been a scene of bitter strife. The problem of rule on the Ohio was of long standing. For a whole century Delaware and Shawnee and Wyandot and Six Nations contended for the territory. Tribe was pitted against tribe, and then at last the answer was given. The Iroquois Confederacy, or Six Nations. [Footnote: Mohawks, Cayugas, Senecas, Oneidas, Onondagas, and Tuscaroras.] whose villages lay by the Hudson River, united, determined, and vengeful, had gained the ascendancy. From the banks of the Hudson to the seats of the stranger beside Lake Erie, the lands belonged to them, and the other tribes to the east and west and north and south paid them tribute. The Mohawks were the mightiest of the Six Nations. In the Confederacy they were chief in council. From their ranks was chosen the head war chief, who commanded on the field of battle. They took the first fruits of the chase, and were leaders in everything. Some time was to pass, however, before Thayendanegea could understand that he was sprung from a race of conquerors. As yet he was but a simple Indian babe, with staring brown eyes and raven black hair. Of the mother who cared for him, history has practically nothing to say. She may have been a Mohawk, but this is by no means certain. It has even been hinted that she came from the Western Indians, and was a damsel of the Shawnee race who had left the wigwams of her people. At all events, we may be sure that she had the natural instincts and impulses of a forest mother, that she knew where the linden grew high, and where the brown-red sycamores clustered thick by the margin of the stream. It may be supposed that when the sun mounted high, she would tie the picturesque, richly ornamented baby frame containing her boy to some drooping branch to swing from its leathern thong in the cooling breeze. We may imagine her tuneful voice singing the mother's wah-wah song, the soft lullaby of the sylvan glades. Thayendanegea's eyes blink and tremble. He forgets the floating canopy above him, and sleeps in his forest cradle. The hunting excursion to the Ohio came at length to an end, and then the Mohawks started for their lodges in the far northeast. Up the broad river sped the strongest canoeman of all the peoples of the forest, with Thayendanegea stowed snugly in the bottom of some slender craft. Over the long and weary portages trudged his mother, her child bound loosely on her shoulders. Their route lay towards Lake Erie, then along the well-trodden trail to the Mohawk River, and the baby was for the first time among the fertile cornfields and the strange longhouses of his people.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?